Welcome to the Virtual College Exploration for all West Virginia students, sponsored by the West Virginia Association of Collegiate Registrars and Admission Officers and StriveScan. Thank you for joining us. A few housekeeping announcements before we get started. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. Your camera and microphone are off, so the panelists cannot hear you or see you. This is just one of many different sessions happening, so be sure to check out the full schedule at WVACRAO.org. This presentation is being recorded and will be available within about a week at that same website, WVACRAO.org. I'd like to turn it over now to our presenters.
Hello and good afternoon. Welcome to the Register Nursing and Today's Healthcare Field Discussion Panel, brought to you by the West Virginia Junior College campuses. I'm your moderator, Stephanie, from the Charleston campus, here to guide you through today's discussion panel. We are so excited that you've joined us today, and I did want to take this opportunity to go ahead and invite you to join us tomorrow at 4 p.m. in this same forum for an admission-specific information panel about West Virginia Junior College. Guys, this is so crazy to me. Normally, the other high school presenters and I would be out in your high schools doing the college fairs, in your classrooms doing presentations, but 2020 has really been anything but normal. So here we are, virtually discussing what your future college plans might look like. And I'm absolutely thrilled to have this opportunity to share with you more about the Associate's Degree in Nursing program at all of our WVJC campuses. Today, we're actually going to visit all 3 campuses, tour the nursing labs, and meet the nursing directors at each of the campus. And thanks in part to COVID-19, we're actually going to travel a large part of West Virginia in just under 45 minutes. How cool is that? Well, without further ado, let's go ahead and get this thing kicked off. We're going to head to Matt in Morgantown. Hey, Matt.
Hi everyone, my name is Matt and I'm the Director of High School and Community Development here at West Virginia Junior College. And it's my goal today to get you a lot of valuable information about our registered nursing program here in Morgantown. So what we're going to do is we're going to meet our head of nursing, the director of the program, Julie, take a tour of the lab and really get you everything you need as you prepare to graduate and look into college next year. So let's get started. So as we promised earlier, we have the wonderful opportunity today to introduce you to our head of our nursing program, the director, Julie Wetzel. Julie, could you just introduce yourself to our participants?
Absolutely, Matt. Hi, I am Julie Wetzel, and I have the opportunity of being the nursing program director here for West Virginia Junior College in Morgantown, and I've had that position for about 2 years now. Previously, I was a WVU grad. I finished my bachelor's degree in nursing and my master's in nursing there. And my first working experience as a nurse was as an ICU nurse. So I have a background in critical care. And then actually before I took this role, I worked as a nurse practitioner for about 12 years. I worked with surgeons, I worked in women's health, and as I got more settled in my career, I had a bigger desire to be in the education field, and so I started teaching at WVJC as an instructor, and here I am today as the director.
Wonderful. And really our participants today want to touch on a couple topics. and the first one being the class of 2021 as students graduate from high school and start exploring nursing opportunities. What exactly are you looking for in a potential candidate?
Okay. Well, there are several things I look for in a good nursing student candidate, and some students are stronger in some areas than others, but there's a couple key areas where students really need to be strong to do well in nursing school. One of those things is a student has to be very dependable and very trustworthy. So nursing is seen as a very trustworthy profession, and people depend on us to tell them what they need to know and tell them things accurately. So I want a student to be dependable. I want a student to be trustworthy, but also enthusiastic. And one of the questions I ask potential students when they come to meet with me is, why do you want to be a nurse? Because I expect a very good answer to that question. So I really want to know that a student is getting into the profession for the right reasons, that they're excited about the opportunity, and that they know it's going to be a intense experience, but a good experience, and they're enthusiastic and dependable and ready for the work.
Outstanding. And so, Julie, we know in this day and age of the pandemic, nurses are in demand. There's a bit of a nursing shortage. Why do you feel nurses are so important right now?
Well, you know, Matt, there's been a nursing shortage since I was in nursing school, and we keep producing more nurses every year than we have the year before, but that shortage is still there. And during this pandemic, the nurses have really been on the front lines, and they are taking care of these patients, and they're staying by their bedside. And unfortunately, you know, some of these nurses are the people who are with these patients when they pass away because their family can't be with them in these circumstances. And so they really form a strong bond with those patients. So there's that aspect, but also nurses are, you know, keeping these people alive at the bedside because of the skills they've been taught in nursing school. So they're really on the front lines, and they're needed.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Hi, my name is Kristen Kirk, and I'm the High School Admissions Advisor at West Virginia Junior College in Bridgeport. I help high school students just like you and provide guidance and assistance through the application and admissions process. I'm really excited to have you all here today, so you get to see what it would look like if you were a student here at our Bridgeport campus. First, we'll take a look into our classroom, where actual WVJC nursing students are led by their instructors in a small, personable lecture room. Then we'll take a look into our lab class, where you'll see simulations that provide actual clinical experiences, but right here on campus. Then we'll hear from our nursing instructor, Pam Wilson, as she explains to you what she looks for in a nursing student. I'm really excited to get started, so let's go!
That was great, Kristen. Thank you so much, and welcome back. I'm your moderator, Stephanie, from the Charleston campus. The Associate's Degree in Nursing program is something we've wanted for a very long time in Charleston. We've seen a need not only locally, but statewide for nurses. So having the ability to train and put nurses out into the field is such an exciting endeavor for us. With that said, let's take a look at the nursing lab and meet the nursing director here in Charleston.
I feel it in my head, my shoulders, knees and toes, my bones, your music gets me through the highs and lows. My head, shoulders, knees and toes, my bones, you keeping me from feeling all alone. The same again, I got you running through my veins. I feel it in my head, my shoulders, knees and toes, my bones, your music.
to see if I still feel. I focus on the thing, the only thing that's real.
When the song come on, let me see you get gone. Baby mamas, this your song. Been pregnant for way too long. Now tell the DJ turn it off, turn it off.
If she a baby mama,
Go ahead.
she gon' do that baby mama.
Work.
She gon' put it on you. She gon' do that baby.
So as you can see, we have a TikTok account at WVJC in Charleston, and we would love it if you would follow us so you can see more of the things that we do there. With that said, I actually have our nursing director, Kelly Polly, up next with a few more words. Here's Kelly.
Good afternoon. My name is Kelly Polly, and I'm the Director of Nursing here at West Virginia Junior College Charleston campus. I want to first tell you that we had a great time making all our TikTok videos, and we hope that you enjoyed them. We know that high schoolers and a lot of other people are very big into TikTok, so we thought it would be a really fun project to do. So we hope you enjoyed it. But in a serious note, you know, this is a nursing program, and with a nursing program, we do have to be serious when we're taking care of patients. Now, when we do our labs and classes, you know, there are times that we're very serious, and there are times that we have a really good time. We want you to be successful in this program. We want you to love nursing. We want you to love being here at the school. And if we didn't have fun at some times, then it may not be as interesting for you. So we do try to make things interesting. We have a lot of classroom where it's a lot of lecture, PowerPoint, you know, our instructors go over your classes. They, you know, tell you information that you need to know to be a successful nurse, to pass your NCLEX when you're finished. But we do have a lab opponent with our classes also, and a clinical environment. So our lab component is taught here at the school, and we have multiple mannequins, medium simulation mannequins that have breath sounds, heart sounds, and they're really neat because you actually get to do things on these that you would on a real patient. So we try to prepare you for the clinical setting, and then you get even more experience in the clinical setting. So yes, our TikToks were really fun and creative, but you know, this is a serious field. We take care of people. We make sure that we save lives, and that's what we love to do when we're caring and nurturing people. So, you know, I hope to see you in my program sometime. And if you have any questions, we're always here to help you. So just call us or email us, or you can come visit our new school. Have a great day. Bye.
So, Julie, I'm going to kind of put you on the hot seat now. Okay. This is the question and answer segment of our program, and our participants today have sent in a lot of questions that we'd like to get answered. Okay. And the first one being, is your program a day or an evening program?
We call it evening and weekend.
Okay.
We have classes that happen during the evenings on Monday through Thursday every week, and then we do clinical experiences in the hospital Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Now the students don't participate in clinicals every single Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but we do classes during the week, clinicals on the weekends.
Okay, and after going through those classes and clinicals, what type of degree are these students going to earn?
Our students receive an associate degree in nursing.
An associate degree in nursing, and how long does it take to receive an associate's degree in nursing?
Here, it takes 18 months.
Wow, so fairly accelerated.
Yes, traditionally most associate's degrees are earned in about 2 years. So I tell the students we have shaved 6 months off the timeline, but we haven't gotten rid of 6 months worth of material. We just condense it into a faster pace.
And being that it's a faster pace, is it still a hands-on program?
It's very hands-on. As you can see, we're sitting in our skills lab today, so we have several mannequins around us. We have the blood arms behind me, and these are all things that we use to teach students hands-on skills that they're going to perform on patients. And then the clinical aspect in the hospital is where they actually start to learn to do these skills on patients in real life, so that when they go out into the field as a nurse, they're not doing things for the very first time.
Okay, and for those students who might not be familiar with what a clinical is, how does that process work? Can you tell us a little bit about clinicals?
Yeah, absolutely. So when we have classes here on campus, it's very much what students are used to. We have an instructor who's lecturing, teaching them material. Labs, we do hands-on learning here, or if it's an anatomy class, we may be dissecting something, or we do a lot in this lab. But clinicals actually means that we send the students to a local hospital in a group of about 8 to 10, and they go with an instructor from the college, and they actually go on to a hospital floor, and they are assigned patients to take care of. Now, obviously, that patient still has an RN who works at the facility taking care of them, but we go in and we help, and we are completely hands-on. The students are giving baths, they're doing health assessments, they're giving shots, medications, they're doing interventions, but they're doing that with the help of their instructor, and obviously communicating with the nurse who's there throughout the day. And they spend 8 to 12 hours there on the weekend. Wow. Learning those skills.
So do those clinicals, do they take the place of an externship, or do you have an externship associated with your program?
There is something that we call leadership experience at the end of our program, and this is pretty typical of most nursing programs. It's very similar to an externship in that we assign each student an RN at a hospital, and they work that RN schedule with them. So it becomes, they're sort of like partners. There's the RN and there's the student. There's not an instructor in this scenario. They're going into the hospital, they're working with these nurses, and this is at the very end. This is the last 6 weeks of our program, and they work about 144 hours with that nurse. So they're there from the beginning of the shift to the end of the shift, and they see how it really works. So it's right before they graduate, we're putting them in this sort of real life experience, like, here, you're gonna go work this shifts with these nurses, and you're gonna see what it's really like to be there from the start to the finish.
Terrific. Well, I can't thank you enough for your time and all the valuable information today. I'm really curious, though, if there's one thing or maybe two things, what are you most proud of about your program here in Morgantown?
I think what I'm most proud of is, obviously, in this town, there is a very big institution. I think we all know which educational institution that is. And we are a much smaller institution, but the nursing program in recent years has grown by leaps and bounds. So we went from admitting a group of students once a year to admitting a group of students twice a year. We went from having 40 students on campus in an evening to 3 classes and maybe 100 nursing students on campus in the evening. But we still maintain that small classroom atmosphere. And with that growth, we've still maintained a very high board pass rate, and we're graduating more students every year than we did the year before. So I think we're a good little program.
Absolutely. Can't thank you enough. And if you had any last word of wisdom for a high school student looking to enter the healthcare field in general, what might that be?
Well, let's see. Back to when I was a high school student.
Yes.
Okay, so my advice would be choose your path wisely, because healthcare is a very exciting field, and there's a lot of options. So you want to make sure whatever you do is really well suited to you and your personality, but be ready to be enthusiastic about it and always learning, because healthcare is always changing. If you think you're going to go to school and learn everything you need to know and walk out and just breeze through life, it's not that way. You're going to keep learning every day. So I guess my piece of advice would be prepared and enthusiastic.
Okay, well, I certainly learned a lot today, and I appreciate your time.
Absolutely, you're very welcome. Thanks for coming.
Hi, I'm Mrs. Wilson with West Virginia Junior College in Bridgeport. I'm the medical director. I'm here with the 2020-2021 RN students from this class, and they have some questions they would like to ask.
What are some lab skills learned by the nursing students during the program?
During the year and a half they are here, we go through a variety of lab skills, and we have medium fidelity mannequins. We are going to be purchasing high fidelity mannequins. We also go to different simulation facilities. So we do phlebotomy, we do NG2 placement. They learn how to do coding with patients, how to do code blues. They also do a simulation where they learn how to deliver a baby, check dilations of cervix, and a live simulation on caring for mental health patients. And that's just touching the tip of the iceberg.
What are expectations of the nursing students?
Expectations, huge. Expectations of nursing students, you have people's lives in your hands, so they are expected to be very dedicated and very responsible. They have to be punctual, and they have to have their work turned in on time. They have to be thorough and complete, and of course honesty and integrity is key and paramount in an expectation of what we want in a nursing student. We also want them to have compassion, because compassion is something that we can't teach to somebody. We can teach skills and we can teach theory, but teaching somebody to care is kind of hard to do when you're already an adult. We can teach soft skills, but that compassion is huge, and the empathy. So those are things that we really look for.
My question kind of ties in with her question. What are some key qualities other than the ones that you mentioned that you look for when you're picking students from this large pool of applicants that you get?
You got to be sturdy. Sturdy is a word I like. You got to have some grit and determination about yourself. You don't want to give up, because nursing is, I think, one of the hardest schools to go through. And you have to have a willingness to learn. You cannot think that you know everything. So along with that, you have to be humble and be able to accept and profit from constructive criticism. Again, compassion is a key thing. Being a team player, working as a team, being a team player, know when to take the lead and be a leader, and know when to step back and be the team player and let somebody else lead in that situation is also paramount in giving effective and safe patient care. We want them to feel confident when they graduate so that they can go out and give that excellent patient care, and also just blend in with the team and know I am able to take care of this patient and I know what I'm doing.
So with that, is there any instant disqualifiers that you could think of as something where you'd be like, you know what, I don't think this person's quite right? You know, like.
One thing is it's requirements of the state board. So certain felonies automatically disqualify people. Like if they've stolen prescription pads from a physician and wrote scripts, that's instant. If you've murdered somebody, of course, that's an instant disqualifier. So there are legalities with the state board. They can go on their website and look at their Title 19 and see what those are.
What do employers or clinical facilities say about your nursing graduates?
That's a good question. We do have great relationships with the hospitals and organizations in the multiple counties that surround us, and they serve on our advisory board actually, and they love our graduates, and they actually help create the rules and guidelines that we have in the program to produce top quality graduates. We send them surveys after the graduates get hired there, and they have to wait so many days before they can send out a survey. They're very, very pleased with all of our graduates. We have never had one complaint. They say that our graduates are far and above graduates from other schools, which makes us very happy. And the graduates are always coming back and saying how well prepared they are and how they see they are above and beyond other nurses and how prepared they did feel. Because when you're in the classroom and at the clinical site, you might not feel that prepared, but then when you get out there and you're actually doing it, you realize I did know more than I think I did, and it makes you happy to see that hard work did pay off.
What is your goal as for a program and for your nursing students coming up?
My goal is to keep them in the program and help them be successful, and to watch them grow as a person and as a nurse, to be able to provide that excellent care to their patient. Not only to care in the skills, but to connect to them as a person. And then graduate and pass their NCLEX. You know, the main goal, you always want them to pass their NCLEX, obviously, but that's not the only goal you have to look at. You have to look at them as a person and help them grow as a person to grow as a nurse, and learn those people skills, and learn that it's not always the fancy things that you do as a nurse, those fancy skills. A lot of times it's sitting at the bedside, holding their hand, listening to them, offering an ear, and that touch is so important. And I think a lot of times in nursing schools now, that's lost. So that's very important.
Good evening. So thank you all for joining us at our nursing open house. We are here to answer any questions that you have. So at this time, we'll do a question answer forum. Yes, that's great. All right.
I have a question.
Yes.
Are there any prereqs? And if so, what classes transfer in?
Okay, so it is a direct admittance program, so we don't have any prerequisites. You can come in and start first for 18 months and finish every class as you go. But there are a couple classes that do transfer in, and that is English and psychology only.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Yes.
What are the T-score requirements?
I hate that question. The T's requirements are a little bit different. So if you're coming out of high school and you don't have above a 3.0, you do have to have an overall of 70%. If your grade point average is lower than a 2.5 out of college, if you've taken 12 college credits, then you will have to also have a 70. But the minimum requirements are 60 in English, reading, and math, and a 50 in science. Good?
Yeah, thank you.
Any other questions?
Yes. What is the schedule for classes and clinicals?
The classes schedule is Monday through Thursday from 3 to 10. That's what we ask for you to be available. Doesn't mean you're going to be here every night, Monday through Thursday from 3 to 10. But you will be here some days longer and some days shorter. Our clinicals start in January. With Nursing 102. So what'll happen is they're based on a number of hours, so you will come hopefully for the first few months every other weekend, and then in some classes it does require every weekend. And that's just about based on availability of the clinical site. Anyone else have any questions?
I got a question about clinicals.
Yes.
Where are the clinicals? Where do they take place?
We have affiliation agreements with multiple local hospitals and nursing homes, CMC, Memorial, General, Women's, and Taze Valley. We have Thomas Health Systems, we have Eastbrook and Oak Ridge, and we also go to Mildred Mitchell Bateman. We are working on a few other affiliations, but those are the agreements that we have right now. Anybody else have any questions? Yes.
What are you looking for in a nursing student?
In a nursing student, I am looking for someone who's organized, who is able to keep up with their assignments, who will be able to multitask in everyday life. You know, work gets involved, school gets involved, students, you know, when you have to study, and kids, it gets really involving. So we do need to make sure that you all are in it. It's a full-time job. So that's basically what I look in, but the most thing I look in is for someone who wants to take care of a patient. I need you to be caring and loving, and that's the truth, and I wouldn't lie to you about it. That's how I do my own nursing career. So, you know, that is a big part of when I interview you, is really getting to know who you are. Sometimes that's harder with all the stipulations we've had lately, but I do feel like everyone that's been chosen for all of our programs is the best fit for our programs.
My friend Bones and I would like to thank you for participating today in our exploration of nursing. We wish you the absolute best with the school year. And if you have any questions about our nursing programs, our website is wvjc.edu. Thank you.
Thanks for joining us today in exploring the WVJC nursing program at Bridgeport. We We hope to see you soon.
Wow, that went by so fast, guys. We've reached the conclusion of our panel presentation, and we are so happy that you joined us as we toured all 3 WVJC campuses and their nursing labs, met the nursing directors, and learned more about each of the associate degree and nursing programs that we offer. Are there any questions left that I could answer? Great. It's been a wonderful afternoon, guys. Thank you so much. And please consider joining us tomorrow at 4 p.m. for our WVJC information panel, focusing more on the admissions process and a little bit more. Have a great day. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much for joining us today. When you close this window, there will be a link to a very quick 4-question survey. We would appreciate any feedback that you can provide. Also, this is just one of many sessions being hosted, so be sure to sign up for additional sessions at WVACRAO.org. In about a week, you'll be able to find this session's recording as well as all the other session recordings at WVACRAO.org. Thank you and have a great day.